We all know mass transit has a lot of advantages for the environment, um, but it also has challenges in an area like Houston. Okay, so it is underfunded and difficult to establish, mainly because of this sprawling pattern, like people living spread away from the city, and the population density is really low. And it's only economical along heavily populated routes. This is probably um, the what the designer should pay attention to, like where people live and how they live. If they all spread out in a big city like this, it's impossible to build a mass transit. And mass transit is less convenient. Of course, a lot of people don't like it. You have to wait, right? And it is extremely expensive to build and operate, and often crowded and uncomfortable. The United States government encouraged personal autos by financing highways, maintaining cheap energy policy, and not funding those projects. So if we compare Houston with other big cities, okay, we can see New York City, Chicago, Philadelphia, San Francisco, they have larger percentage of people using the mass transit, and a larger percentage of people can walk in the cities. And for the Houston, the score is really low. And walking and biking are additional options if roads are planned with this in mind. Okay, and the model, this is the model split that describes the percentage of travelers using a particular type of transportation to get to work. So Houston is not a city using the mass transit. While in the downtown area, I'm really impressed. And the walking scores is really low in this city, which means you cannot accomplish shopping or other activities just by walking. And there's a lot of benefits of walking. I'm not going through this long list. I intended to put it over here to encourage everybody to walk. And a walkable city is a green city, is a livable, healthy city. And the 15 minutes of walking a day can change your body. That's why we're concerned about the walk score of a city. You can check your area in this website. Okay, see what's the walk score of your neighborhood. Chicago is very walkable. The area has a score of 78. That's pretty high, and you can compare your neighborhood score with this score and see what's the difference. And the people like to walk if they're protected and they're close to interesting things to look at. So the trees and curbside parking provides a buffer of protection and make people feel more secure, right? And we encourage mixed use development. Okay, that means we put the shop, the small business on the walkable paths, so people can achieve more than one goal when they walk home from work. And also the design of the roads, that's an important factor to decide if it's a walkable neighborhood or not. Please read this, go to this website. This is a short article and explain why Seattle permanently closed a 20-mile streets during pandemic, just to provide more open space, safe walking streets for people for their health. And this is a good example. This is in New York City. And this New York City's High Line linked 40 blocks of Manhattan above street level. And this is really smart design, and I totally love this. Now, that is about transit and walkable cities. The second thing I want to talk about is the waterways and the development, because we are in the city facing the flooding challenges because we're close to the ocean. So you can see historically, a lot of big cities are built on the waterways, including Houston, because waterways provided transportation, drinking water, power, and the waste disposal. And the floodplain problems, I've mentioned about this before. This is Mississippi River. When it's flooded every 50 or 100 years, you can see those regions that cause billions of dollars of loss. So when we plan a city, we will put that in our minds. Okay, we will not overdevelop those areas, because later on, it will be flooded and you will suffer from tremendous loss. And New Orleans is not a very successful case. Okay, it's not resilient to the flooding because of the infrastructure and because of the economic inequity, and also because of those levees are not really protecting. So the city responded with facilitating education and communication across the government agencies and reduce the inequality and boost the social cohesion. So they have a resilient office overseeing this. And also, they have plans to make the city more resilient, including landscape green space. So they decide to put more plants, more open space in the city, and restore the wetlands. So wetlands, I cannot emphasize this too much. This is tremendous valuable from nature for us to manage water, to manage storms and flooding. So the principles of land use planning would be, if you have to make changes, of course, if there's no change, that'd be all good. When you need to make changes, you have to evaluate the unique features of the land, preserve unique cultural and historical features. I want to concentrate on these features, conserve open space and the environmental features. Open space is not emphasized until very recently. The successful case in New York State, London, and there's a few other big cities realize the open space is really valuable to the health of the environment and the health of people. And I also want to mention the mixed use plan and the plan for variety of transportation options. And you can browse the rest by yourself. And this is one page or more than 1,000 words. I don't think I need to talk too much on this. We want to protect the unique features of the land, protect historical and cultural resources. We want to use the dead center of the city. Okay, those vacant buildings can be remodeled to shopping malls or warehouses for storage. And recreational resources may be as important as economic growth for maintaining a healthy community. See how beautiful the Central Park is in New York City. It's been there for hundreds of years. And they're really smart. The people for the city planning realize the people's health is sometimes more valuable than economic growth. We encourage mixed-use communities, okay, where a mixture of housing, shops, restaurants, grocery stores are all located within 0.5 mile of public transportation. In China, we do a lot of this, also in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and some of the other cities in Asia and Africa. We encourage building the bike lanes so people can ride their bikes. And the last thing I want to say is a green infrastructure. This center actually produce more energy than it uses. Well, I think this is really cool. When you have time, you can Google this on YouTube, okay, or on other website, or just Google them. And it collects and treats all the water used in the facility. It collects the rainwater. I think it's really cool. And also, I don't remember which center. I think it's probably this one. They constructed artificial wetlands just to process the wastewater. This is another green building. This is called the greenest commercial building. And this building is a LEED certified building. It's in Baylor University. It has a solar roof, okay, and it automatically adjusts the daylight inside the building. I think that's really cool. That saves a lot of energy. And they have a water-saving landscape and the irrigation system. We probably will build more of those buildings in the future. All right, this concludes my whole lecture, and I leave the what can I do to you.